Welcome to Karma Canvas, the power within, self-effort over fate. Yoga Vasistha. In the sacred groves of ancient India, where the rivers of knowledge have flowed since time immemorial, a profound teaching is about to unfold. The great sage Vasistha, repository of infinite wisdom and direct realization of truth, sits in the golden light of evening, preparing to illuminate the path for his most sincere student. Prince Rama, though born to worldly power, carries within his heart a deeper hunger, the hunger to understand the very nature of reality and his place within it. On this sacred day, their conversation turns to a question that haunts every sincere seeker. Are we masters of our own destiny, or are we merely puppets dancing on the strings of fate? The assembly has gathered to hear the continuing discourse of Vasistha, who has spent countless sessions revealing the deepest truths of existence. Among his listeners are seekers from all walks of life, some who have renounced the world entirely, others still caught in its web, all united by their thirst for understanding. The sage prepares to address a teaching that cuts at the very heart of human suffering, the paralyzing belief in fate. This teaching, he says, will surely remove the darkness of ignorance, if only those who hear it will listen with their whole being.
O Rama, listen carefully to what I am about to reveal, for this instruction is sure to remove the darkness of ignorance that clouds your vision. In this world, whatever is gained only by self-effort. Where failure is encountered, it is seen that there has been slackness in that effort. This is obvious to those with eyes to see, but what is called fate is fictitious and is not seen. No one has ever seen fate, yet everyone speaks of it as if it were the most powerful force in creation.
Revered Master, if what you say is true, then why do so many wise people speak of fate as though it were real? Why do learned scholars teach that our actions are predetermined? How can a young man become a great scholar without study, as the astrologers sometimes predict? I confess, I am troubled by these contradictions.
Your question is wise, Rama, and shows you are ready to pierce the veil of illusion. Self-effort, my dear student, is that mental, verbal, and physical action which is in accordance with the instructions of a holy person well versed in the scriptures. It is only by such effort that Indra became king of heaven, that Brahma became the creator, and the other deities earned their place. Even the gods themselves did not fall from heaven like ripe fruits. They climbed through the mountains of self-effort. Now I will reveal to you the true nature of what people call fate. Self-effort is of two categories, that which comes from past births and that which arises in this present life. The latter, your present effort, effectively counteracts the former. What people call fate is nothing other than the self-effort of a past incarnation. There is constant conflict between these two in your present incarnation, and that which is more powerful triumphs. The present is infinitely more potent than the past. But hear me well, self-effort which is not in accord with the scriptures and right understanding is motivated by delusion and will not bear fruit. When there is obstruction in the fruition of your efforts, you must examine whether there is such deluded action. If you find it, you must immediately correct your course. There is no power greater than right action performed in the present moment, guided by wisdom and rooted in truth. Therefore, one should take recourse to self-effort with full determination. The lazy man, Rama, is worse than a donkey, for even a donkey works at the command of his master. One should never yield to laziness, but strive to attain liberation, seeing that life is ebbing away every moment. One should not revel in the filth known as sense pleasures, as a worm revels in pus. And he who says fate is directing me to do this is brainless, and the goddess of fortune abandons him. Such a person has already surrendered his inherent power, and power always flees from those who abandon it.
As the evening deepens, the assembled seekers sit in profound silence, absorbing the weight of these words. The sage has challenged not just their intellectual understanding, but the very foundation of their excuses, their rationalizations, their surrender to a false god called fate. One by one, faces in the assembly shift from complacency to recognition of their own power. Vasistha pauses, allowing his words to settle like seeds in fertile soil. When he speaks again, his voice carries the weight of revelation that has been tested across lifetimes.
When afflicted by suffering, people cry, alas, what tragedy, or alas, look at my fate. Both cries mean the same thing, but what is called fate or divine is nothing other than the action or self-effort of the past. Yet the present is infinitely more potent than the past. They indeed are fools who are satisfied with the fruits of their past effort and do not engage themselves in self-effort now. Such fools remain enslaved to their own forgotten actions, not realizing they hold the key to liberation in their own hands. A weak and dull-witted man sees the hand of providence when he is confronted by a strong and powerful adversary and succumbs to him. But this is not divine intervention. It is simply that his effort was weak. If the farmer's efforts are made fruitless by a hailstorm, should he not understand that the hailstorm's own power was greater than his effort? Then let him put forth greater effort now. Should he weep daily over the inevitability of death? No. The wise man knows what is capable of attainment by self-effort and what is not, and he directs his mighty efforts accordingly. Self-effort which springs from right understanding, which manifests in a heart exposed to the teachings of the scriptures and the conduct of holy ones, this alone is true self-effort. And such self-effort has a threefold root and threefold fruit. The three roots are knowledge of scriptures, instructions of the preceptor, and one's own effort. From these three roots grow three fruits: an inner awakening in the intelligence, a decision in the mind, and physical action in the world. Fate and divine dispensation do not enter here. The wise seeker knows this and does not waste breath speaking of destiny. I speak from direct knowledge, not from mere philosophy. All of us, I and my fellow sages, have attained self-knowledge by self-effort alone. This sage Visvamitra became a Brahma RSI, one of the highest realizations, entirely through self-effort. There is no exception to this law. Even the gods achieved their positions through effort. Renounce fatalism and apply yourself to self-effort with the intensity of a person grinding grain between millstones. Overcome evil by good, and overcome the supposed fate of your past by the self-effort of your present.
Revered sage, your words strike like lightning illuminating truth. But I must ask, if latent tendencies from my past births impel me toward action in the present, where then is my freedom? How can I claim credit for effort when I may be driven by forces I do not understand or control?
Excellent question, Rama, and it reveals your readiness for the highest teaching. The tendencies brought forward from past incarnations are of two kinds, pure and impure. The pure ones lead you toward liberation, and the impure ones invite trouble. But here is the supreme truth. You are consciousness itself, not inert physical matter. You are not impelled to action by anything other than yourself. You are free to strengthen the pure latent tendencies in preference to the impure ones. The impure ones must be abandoned gradually, and the mind turned away from them little by little. By encouraging the good tendencies to act repeatedly, you strengthen them until they become your natural way of being. The impure ones will weaken by disuse and neglect. Soon you will become so absorbed in the expression of good tendencies that the impure ones lose all power over you. When you have overcome the force of the evil tendencies, then you will even have to abandon the good ones and rest in the supreme truth itself. This is the complete path of self-effort. Effort becomes effortless when it aligns with truth.
As the night deepens, Vasistha continues his revelation, speaking of the cosmic order that ensures every effort is blessed with appropriate fruition. He speaks of the four gatekeepers to liberation: self-control, the spirit of inquiry, contentment, and good company. He teaches that one should, with a body free from illness and mind free from distress, pursue self-knowledge so that one is not born again in ignorance. And most remarkably, he reveals that self-effort alone is the true expression of divine will. There is no separate God ordaining outcomes. Your sincere effort and the response of the universe are one dance, one reality.
Thus, O Rama, the path is clear. When you truly understand that self-effort alone is the fashion of divine will, when you know that no fate or God outside yourself ordains your destiny, when you see that every genuine effort brings its appropriate fruition, then freedom arises. Not the freedom to escape consequences, but the supreme freedom to choose your efforts with full consciousness and take responsibility for your life. This understanding itself liberates you from the slavery of imagined fate. With this wisdom, even now while dwelling in this world, you live like a god, like Brahma or Vishnu, untouched by sorrow, established in eternal bliss.
The teaching, self-effort rooted in right understanding, is infinitely more powerful than fate, and present action always overpowers past karma when pursued with earnest intention and wisdom. Subscribe to Karma Canvas for daily wisdom from ancient spiritual traditions.